hard to find. Strong arm tactics so loud, only themselves in mind. Every player has dreams of making ORCA fame. They'll live on in the minds of those who get in their way. ORCA's all say, don't come for me. Mid-third boots, they're so vain. As we set up the podcast webcam, the pod is here to talk ORCA game. ORCA King CK with delusions of fame. In this LRG world, he's the apex predator. Dani and Jules in tow, always ready to go. Now it's time for the show, they're the apex predators.
Hello and welcome to the ORCA Pod, the Apex Predators of Australian Survivor LRG podcasting. I have the wrong banner up because last night we did one hell of a Sydney podcast, if you're watching that. It was all sorts of fun. And they will be doing something reference related to it. But today we are talking about Canberra Survivor, episode 9. And we are fortunate to be joined by a couple of guests this evening. But first, I must introduce my fantastic co-host. Let's welcome in the ORCA scribe herself. That's her new thing.
ORCA scribe, your service.
You have notes this week?
I do, yes.
Well, good.
I mean, they're brief notes, but they have notes.
Excellent work. And the master of TWIOLSH, the ORCA of the Chronicles, will be providing us to us in just a little bit, but we'll be doing something else first. Let me welcome back for another show. Jules, welcome.
ORCA Chronicles, I'll take that.
Chronicler. You have to change your lower crayon to that, if you feel appropriate. Now, because we've got some boots that have come and gone, we weren't able to get Maddie last week. She was a bit under the weather. We only got to interview Mushy. It would have been great to have Maddie on the program, but thankfully she's here with us today. So because that was the prior episode, we're going to start our coverage. Let me just throw this. It's our first blowhole of the night. She's not this week's boot. She's last week's boot. Later on, we'll talk to this week's boot. But joining us on the blowhole to give all the ups and downs of her chaos as a returning player. Absolutely amazing this season. Let's bring her in. I've got to get the right thing. So I had the wrong thing the other day. Sorry. That one. Let's bring her in. Mayhem.
Hello. We're so excited you're here because we didn't get you for Canberra vs. the World because you were off gallivanting overseas.
I was.
We didn't get you last week, so I was so glad to finally have you on the pod and talk all things chaos.
I know. I was like dying literally last week. Like it was pretty bad. So I'm glad I could make it this week.
She sent me a voice note to just confirm how sick she was. I can attest to it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Tell us, Maddie, we've been going on in this podcast endlessly, week in, week out, that Maddie is playing like utter chaos because she thinks she played a bad game the first time. And we're like, no, she didn't. She played an excellent game and was swap screwed and was effectively too good. She was seen as the linchpin of her tribe that had to be removed by the other tribe. Did you look back on season 3 when it finally came out and go, man, I wasn't as bad as I thought?
Yeah, so after 3, obviously, you know, editing takes a while. So like you only see what you thought you saw. And then when you actually see the footage, you're like, oh, I was aligned pretty well. And like multiple people had said to me, like, no, Maddie, like you were like actually doing well. Because I spoke to Mal because he had seen and he was crewing and he's like, no, you actually positioned yourself pretty well for someone that doesn't know Survivor that well. I think aligning with Bethany and Eden and Anthea put me in a really good spot. I was just too like chirpy and like whatever I was doing with the bird. So yeah, like it was just too much. And then spilling the beans, and then, you know, I really should have I should have seen the minority when I was swapped over and stopped being so Currawong strong.
It's hard to do when it's so quick that way.
But also,
Yeah.
I know we weren't there for your first season, so we're talking about that now. And we can talk about that, then move into this season. Aiden, who was a reasonably savvy player, knew he was on the bottom and just sold you out immediately, and everyone believed him, and you were absolutely the right person for that majority to vote out.
100%. 100%. I should have beat him to the chase and been like, I voted Jay, or like, I can't remember if I voted Aiden first, and then I voted Jay. I could have been like, I flipped to save you.
Yeah.
Like, I flipped to save you, but I didn't orchestrate it well. But I thought I was going to take, you know, all those lessons and apply them.
Yeah.
So tell us about that mindset coming in, because obviously you have a rough memory of what it was in 3, and we've all played before. We know what that memory is before you watch it. Like, it's a very skewed view, a very rough memory because everything happened so quickly. What was the mindset getting the call up for 4 and coming back so quickly?
Well, I was like, thank God I can redeem myself, because I was cut up for someone that was like non-survivor. Like, I'd seen it as like a kid, but like not like in like the survivor world. And then I prepped myself. I got into orgs. I was like, yes, I'm gonna like really go hard at this. And I remember saying in like my first video, being like, I'm gonna be cool, calm, and collected. I'm gonna keep things to my chest. And it's like literally the first minute we're in there, and I'm scooping the coffee, and I'm like eyes like wide like a deer in headlights. And I remember Mars saying to me, he was just like, Maddie, you thought you were so discreet. Like, everybody saw you like trying to get that clue. I'm like, no, they didn't. He was like, Maddie, you and Janine was so obvious.
Tell us about the infamous clue. Seemed really difficult. I tried to solve it off the thing Dan posted on social media, and I still couldn't. Where was that bloody idol? Like, we can talk about this. It was pre-merge. It's long gone. Do you know now? What was the clue?
Gone.
What
long
was the
gone.
clue?
I couldn't even still figure it out. I just know it says something about an ace in the hole, and it was like something about going to the gate. So there was a gate, and it was hanging there. We walked past that gate, to go to tribal, to come back from tribal. So like apparently it was in plain sight, but I was just not seeing it.
Was this the same?
Anthony was right. It had something to do with gate.
Was this one idol? Can I ask, was this one idol that was open to both tribes, or were there 2 idols? Was it the same gate?
There was one with a kangaroo and one with a koala. So Anthea found the koala one. I did not find the kangaroo one.
Wait, Anthea, did you find the idol?
Well, I thought did she find it or not?
No.
Yeah, she did, but we didn't see her find the idol.
No. Anthea got to the gate.
That's Nat the idol. Sorry, my mistake.
Anthea got to the gate.
Anthea got the same clue as me. That's my mistake. So Anthea got the same clue. She hasn't worked it out yet. She was ahead of me though. In the episode, she could get further. I had to ask for Aston's help. But yeah, Nat found the idol that was at the
tribal.
I think
I get what Anthea happened here, because she went to the gate and she looked in the hole. There was like a hole in the gate, hole, and she couldn't find it, so she assumed it had been taken. That's what she said. I get where she was coming from. That was hard. Also, how hard was the Desperation Station puzzle?
I don't even want to talk about the Desperation Station. Eden made it so hard. I got a free shot, and I was like, ABC, 246. Like, I'm a teacher here. I'm trying to think of all the patterns that it could be. I'm like carving it in my leg with a stick. Like, it's just not happening. Like, I'm not happy, Eden.
Yeah, look, we've talked about it at length. It was too hard for a 10-minute solve under pressure. Yeah.
But I would have looked at it and sat down. I would have flipped the thing, looked at it, and been like, "Can't do this. What the fuck does this mean?"
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just looked at it, and then I thought
it was the threat of just being like, you know what, I could have immunity.
And this is the thing that I talked about, like on the other pod, was that I actually could have gone and done the Desperation Station again, which I didn't even think about until now.
Yes.
Like that was a free shot for me.
Yeah, right.
And I'm
true.
like, oh, what if I'd gone to the desperation station? Like, would that have changed anything? But I don't know.
Did you feel that when you got that free kick at the desperation station because you were picked last, did that make you more chaotic? Did you feel like you must be on the bottom of everything?
Hell yeah, 100% it did. I was like, nobody wants me. I'm rejected. It honestly felt like the swap screw again, but like this time it was like all torture, like torches are shining at me. Like Maddie is like exiled, and when he said exiled, I was like, does that mean I'm gone? Like, does that mean I'm going to like I can't remember. It's not the grasslands of gloom now. What is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. I was like, am I going there? Like, am I done? Like, I was just like, this is so stressful. And then I think sitting there and like not knowing where I was going to end up as well. And then just being stuck on that damn clue going A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E probably made it worse.
How did you feel coming back and copping a vote on the first vote that your tribe went to? Was that a surprise? Did it bother you to get a dinky vote? Because it didn't matter. Like everyone else voted for Haley, or 2 votes. Yeah, but one of them's Haley's. She's going, so that doesn't matter. Like if the person you vote for is, I know Jules is like 2, the chronicler is like 2, and you're right, Jules, but only one of those people is still there. So someone that voted for you is still there. Did that cause you to lose your shit a bit, or could you stay calm?
I think that actually didn't bother me as much as it would have bothered me in 3. I don't know what's going on with my lighting here. I look like I have like a Jesus like. But yeah, like I don't think that bothered me as much as it would have, like when I got votes in 3. I was like in 3, I was like, I need to know. But 4, I was like too worried about the next vote and like how I was going to crawl my way through that. So yeah, I think I was just paranoid full stop. Like there was just like the votes were mainly my concern for the next one. It was always one ahead. I just need to get one more till I get till merge, and then I need to keep going. So,
and it was really interesting to watch because, like, obviously, I mean, you don't have the dynamics of seeing everybody else's conversations and those sorts of things, but you would get back after a loss, and your name wouldn't be in anyone's mouth until you brought your name up to everybody.
Exactly. And it was kind of like, so now where do I fit? What's changed? Like
you didn't give anyone the chance to tell you a name. You just instantly were like, is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Is it me?
You can
it's
tell
the
me
Maddie
it's
show, okay? Is it me? Is it me?
Am I the drama?
But yeah, no, it was definitely hard to get back into those conversations again. Like I was like, how am I going to do this? And then that's when I was just like, basically just went back to paranoia and just sat there and spun a little web in my head and then spun it around to everybody else. And then it was like, oh, Maddie's a bit out there.
Did anybody ever at any point say, calm down?
I think Anthea when we had that chat was like trying to like be like, look, like you need to chill. When I say like I think I've stubbed myself in the foot, like but no one like Aston had said to me, I'm pretty sure multiple times, like, chill, Maddie, it's not you. But like because like I knew Aston from before and I really wanted him to be there. It was like I knew he was my friend, but I almost thought he was my friend in the game as well. Like I couldn't separate the two, if that makes sense. So he's like saying to me, like, you're fine. But then I'm also in a Survivor game and I'm like, he's lying to me. And then, you know, I go and cut off my like only connections. Like, you know, I'm like, clap, clap by Janine. Like she's the only one that's working with me. And
That's what I said.
like,
I said this last week. I was just like, what confession was like, she hasn't helped me at all. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's the only one who's helped you every single time.
And then as I'm walking down to Tribal, I'm like, is the vote Mushy or Mars? And Mushy's like, this isn't on camera though. Mushy's like, I can hear you. And I was
no. I think you're a bit like me. You have 2 volumes loud and louder, and it's really hard to whisper when you're someone like us.
Yeah, and just
Well,
you know,
deserves it. How dare she take the desperation station when you're trying to have a strat chat with it? You're like, wait, just don't take it. Just don't take it. I want to talk to you. Oh, you took it. Well, you're dead to me now.
Yeah.
It's over.
done. I just, oh my god, like my mom and my nan were watching episode 2, and this is going like way back, and they're like, your eyes, you play like this the whole time.
Every conversation, you're like,
like there's no filter.
none.
At least you can laugh at yourself about it. Like, I think that's the main thing. People
the
take themselves
funniest-
seriously.
The funniest thing is like me and Brie were like this the whole time.
Oh yeah,
And it's
no,
so
really?
obvious. But we are actually the closest out of the cast now.
That can happen.
I
Excellent.
can see that because I think you two are a bit similar, and I think you
Oh,
probably both
I was
viewed
so
each
jealous
other.
of her.
Yeah, I think you both viewed each other as each other's biggest threat, which is accurate.
Yeah. I was like, look at Brie. She's got her finger in all the pies here. She's got these guys working as shields for her. I was like, why can't I have that? Hello, paranoid, like too crazy. They're not going to come near you.
You're just
Like even
running around
Mars was like, I don't want to create chaos with you.
You're running around just like
Yeah.
smashing the pies into people's faces.
Yeah.
Instead of like putting the fingers in them, just picking them up and going, yeah.
Literally.
I want to ask about one last thing. Did you come in? Obviously, you talked about Anthea before, and you were finally linked up at the merge. You hadn't a chance to play with each other until that point. Did you expect Anthea and you were aligned in season 3? No one betrayed each other there. You got swapped to other sides and both voted out. Did you see Anthea as a safe space, or did you lack trust there as well?
Again, I think I went, we were friends in 3. Like, that'll work. Not thinking about the game that was in front of me. I need to listen to Andrew I needed to like channel my inner Andrew, because he was like, look at the game in front of you. Stop looking at like friendships and all this kind of stuff. And I think I went in with the mindset of, Anthea will work with me. And even like when I signaled to her like that the little koala kangaroo was not an idol, like trying to like work, that was a season 3 thing, and trying to like get her trust from doing that. I just think she just saw the chaos and was like, I literally can't align with you. Like you're putting too many people, like you're a target. So I completely understand
her game, like, right? Because Anthea plays it very cool, calm and collected.
Yeah.
And by aligning,
which is what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
At what point did you try to do that? At what
You
point?
do you know when Maddie tried to do it? You know when she tried to do it in season 3, and she was quite effective at it. That's what she was
really
doing. You guys have any final questions?
I just think at least it was entertaining. Like I actually was like, wow, Maddie, you give a bit of character.
You definitely were a character.
You highlighted the season, 100%.
It's what everyone dreams to show. They play twice. One time they show off their strategic and social skills, and the other time they show off their chaos character. Those are the two sides of any Survivor player, and you've been able to show both.
How exciting!
Hey, you may not have won the game, but you might be in contention for an ORCA. You never know.
I was thinking that. I'm like, will I? Will I not?
You've been nominated for a Brommy, so you're eligible.
You'll be in the pool. All right. Any final questions for Mayhem, Maddie, our Chaos Queen?
No, I just want to say, like, thank you. Like, as much as we've given you shit for being the chaos, it's also been such fun. Like it's been the best fun. We've joked about it in the best way. Like you've definitely been the entertainment of the season so far.
Oh, thank you. I think the only other person that might have got on board with my chaos was Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only other person.
That would have been brilliant. We're still very sad. I love the mushy run. We stand mushy as everyone did by the end, but I'm still sad that Ben didn't make it through, because he could have caused chaos. That would have been a great combo. Absolutely.
Oh, the things we could have created.
Well, on that note, we'll just dream about you and Ben and the magic it could have been. Thank you so much, Maddie, for coming on and for your run.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I always put them off before the bye. Let me just chuck this on. Okay, Jules, you're the Orca Chronicle. Tell us about what happened in Canberra Survivors 1 through 3 in this very week of the game.
All right. Well, if we go to season 1, you know that I love a vote that's not straightforward. It's a bit all over the place. This vote was a 3-1-1 at the final 5. That's interesting to me. Like, I don't know. So we had 3. That's when Hoppo got voted out. He voted for Charlene, and then Ben voted for Brad. I don't know why. I would have to go back and watch the episode to understand the full details of it. But a 3-1-1 at final 5 to me I like that. The ultimate sacrifice. We had a double boot in that episode. It started with a second tribal from the previous episode. Like, they had one tribal and they're like, right, you're voting again. And then they cut to the next episode. So that first one was Joe voted out unanimously. And then later on in the episode, our friend Mel was voted out in a 4-2. Very sad.
I believe the first trouble there, we criticised significantly for letting Nick have a second immunity without having to do a challenge.
Yes, agreed. And then in then Canberra versus the World, the episode title is one of my favorites of that season. My husband thinks I'm a sociopath. This is one where we had touchy subjects. It was that weird touchy subjects where they did like a quiz first, like a geography stuff, and then like
that was
science
weird.
knowledge, and then touchy subjects. Just do touchy subjects. That's all you need. And our fellow Orca, not for here, but over on Sydney and covered our season, Loz, Orca of the season, was voted out in a 4-2. The only person to vote with her was the eventual winner in Bethany. So I don't know what to take from that, but you know. And then if we go away from Canberra, if we go to Melbourne 4, it was a devastating episode.
You're not supposed to be looking at Melbourne. No, Melbourne.
Melbourne 4 is where you lost me. That's where I was voted out, episode 9. It's terrible. But that was another vote that was all over the place. That one was a 4-2 to 1.
Who said this episode title from Canberra?
My husband is a sociopath.
Yeah.
That was Bethany.
Because I said my wife thinks I'm a sociopath in my
did.
intro video for Playing with Fire.
You did.
Oh, 2 pieces in the pot. I didn't know this. Okay, so I guess the comparison is, where does this episode sit before we get into it? In line with those other 3 Canberra episodes. It's probably one of the weaker ones. It was a bit of a by the numbers. Look, I have to say it was a strategically sensible move for a lot of people. Probably not for one. But you know, that's not super fun. But it was a good. To me, this episode felt very new era Survivor coded.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. I feel like last week we saw a lot about this 6 coming together. And I think
the 6, the power 6.
Didn't I
believe in this power 6?
The core 6.
Didn't I believe in the core 6? It's collapsed immediately. I was wrong about that.
I feel like the only reason we were even shown it, like normally you wouldn't show an alliance that only lasts 1 vote. I think the only reason we were shown it is to create a sense of a story for this episode, because otherwise it was very much just Blue getting together to take out Mars and Aston being like, I don't trust Mars, so I'll vote with you as well. Like, it was a very, very simple vote. And I won't lie, a little part of me was very, very satisfied that Mars got worse than 7th place.
This is exactly what I'm saying. It's new era coded. There's a bunch of new era stuff going in.
Yes.
Absolute like Q6 alliance that
Exactly.
never existed. And I feel like Natalie and the Idol is like, you know, it's a bit Rizzo and the Idol. Like, she never has to play it, but is anyone wanting to actually take her out? Similarly to Xander and his Idol. You know, I feel there's this real new era vibes going on with this.
Yeah, I feel like if it was someone like a Brie or a Will that had the Idol, they would be trying a lot harder to get it out. But I think no one is too concerned about Natalie at the end. Like, even if she hangs on to this Idol all the way till the end and plays it, I still don't see her having a ton of win equity. So I think that's why it's not that concerning. Like, just don't vote for it.
Yeah, the only one who's super concerned about it is Mars.
And that's because he wants the Idol for himself.
That's exactly it, but that's
It
what
might
I'm
be
saying.
his own PTSD.
He doesn't want anybody else to have anything else except for him.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
what
Three
was
would stress me out too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. If it's someone who you think, I have to get this person out before we get to FTC, then that's a much bigger deal. But for Natalie, I think a lot of people probably want to sit next to Natalie at the end. No shame to her, but she doesn't seem to have a time. I probably wouldn't vote for her at the end.
I think Natalie has been a victim of circumstance.
Yes.
She could, and look, I'm not blaming anyone. You're playing these games that you've dreamed of playing. You're progressing well. You're progressing to the end, and you can start forming a view that if you make it to the end, you might be able to convince people to vote for you. Why not? Why not vote for me? But the way the edit's shown, which you can only assume reflects what people felt on the day, she just hasn't had a lot of agency in most of the votes. She hasn't run a vote. Now, look, that doesn't say that couldn't change. She could use her idol in a really interesting way and really change up her perspective. She's in a good position to really flip the script if she does something fun with the idol. But if she doesn't do that, if she just runs it through to the last time she can play it, plays it for herself, she's just going to be seen as someone who didn't make a move. And I don't think she was being included in the what's left of Blue, and the Blue, like Derek, Will, Anthea, they had a power alliance, and she's sort of gone with it, and she hasn't flipped off with them. She stayed with them. So I can't see that game being rewarded by the jury. But she has time now to flip it. She's got idol and time to change it up. But right now, I don't think she's on a winning track.
Yeah, and I think the rest of her alliance have the other options. They're like, oh, they've been approached by this side and that side. So they are deciding what's happening. Natalie is just kind of maintaining status quo. She's not trying to make something else happen. No one else is trying to make something happen with her. So it is unfortunate. But it's not too late.
And we see the conversations here where they talk, Blue, say, don't play the idol, it's a bluff, don't worry about it. But they're also saying to her, we can use your idol in an interesting way. It doesn't seem like it's Nat's idea to be well, let's use this and make a move with it. It's Anthea and Derek saying, hang on, we'll use this really interestingly for all of us moving forward, as opposed to Nat being let me shake things up.
She needs to use it to idle out an Anthea or a Will or a Derek, any of them. She idles out any of them with it. She really changes the perspective of her own.
100%.
I agree. And it needs to be one of her own allies, because if she uses it to idle out like a Bree or someone, that's not really that big of a move. And I think that she probably wouldn't need an idol at this point to get one of those a Bree or out, because that's just how it's going to go. She needs to use it to completely flip the script.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think Will's playing the best game. Everyone seems to think Derek's playing the best game, and everyone really regards Anthea for what she's doing. Any of those, a flip on any of those is a massive move, a massive scout. And that could change the whole perspective, because there is a lot of recency bias running into a final tribal. And if you've done fun things in front of the jury in the final run, people will remember that. And then you can say, I didn't do much pre-merge, but who cares about pre-merge? Just what I was doing at the merge.
Yeah, no, and I agree with those late game moves, because people sitting on the jury, you go to the jury with this idea of, wow, this is what's going to happen. Mars is probably on the jury now. Yep, all these people, this is what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, this is how it's going to run out. And if someone can completely change a predictable story, that is oh, cool. Now we've got a game. And so that's why it gets rewarded so well. So it's not out of the realms of possibility for her now. I just think she's not likely to win at this point.
She needs to have the awareness of her game position, which is probably the least win equity, and then know that she's got to do something big to change that. It's between her and Janine, but Janine at least has the returnee status to give her a little bit of, I think, a one-up if I was ranking their win equities. I don't think Nat has anything right now that will give her a vote, but a big move, would change the game.
100%.
Can we talk about Aston's move here? He doesn't vote. It's the 3 power blues, the true core of the 6. In fact, 4 of the 6 voted together. Maybe the 6 is a 4.
No. Will didn't vote with them.
That's right. So it's Natalie.
It was Natalie, Derek, Anthea, and Aston that voted for Mars.
Let's talk about each of these and who we think, why they did it, and who we think made a good decision or a bad decision. Ready out. Mars is a big player. We identified this. Everyone thinks he's a big player. Everyone's worried about him in the game. For these people, what do we think? For Anthea, was this a smart move?
Yes.
I think for Anthea and Derek. it's smart. I think they are watching
Really?
Will. I think they're watching Will be pulled away out of their core four. They are seeing that him align with Mars. They're seeing him really chat to Janine, and the potential that dismantles their numbers. We see that he doesn't vote with them here. So I think it's very, very smart on their part.
They say numerous times, though, why can't we vote out Mars? We want to vote out Mars because Will won't let us. If we do this, it's going to annoy Will. They leave Will out of the vote. Is this going to damage their relationship with Will?
I don't see Will as that kind of player. I think Will knows he needs them.
Yes. Yes. And I think I want to know a bit more about, was he left out, or was it just I can't vote for Mars? Did he think everyone was voting for Janine? Like, I don't know how much of the, maybe I missed it, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but I don't think we got a cohesive narrative on that.
No, I don't know that we got told that either.
So that's what I want to know. Like, yeah, because if it's is it a case of I'm really close with Mars, I can't write his name down, but I'm happy for you guys to do it, then that's probably a smart move for him because that might get him Mars's vote. But was it him completely left out? Then I'll be really interested to see what happens next time. But I agree, I don't see him flipping on his group, even if they do that. So
can we talk about that point there, just as an offside? The gutless jury management to know your allies going and not vote for them, but not really
Quote
tell
Boston
them
Rob,
about
you're
it.
a little man, coach.
Yeah, you know, I did this once in an org actually to Nat, and she fucking tore me to shreds at the final tribal for doing it. I knew it was Nat, but you know, because it's Nat, it's pretty obvious when it's Nat in an org. But she still voted for me, but she tore me to threads for it. And to be honest, Nat's the sort of person you can't tell is going because she fucking then like sets the world on fire. So I really couldn't tell her, but it is a bit of a gutless move. There you go. Will thought, you want to put that one up, Jenny? Will thought the numbers were there for Janine, but knew Mars was in danger, didn't want him out, and was shocked. So Will was blindsided by this move.
So yeah, then I don't know. I don't love it because that's putting a lot of faith in Aston. Like, yeah. I mean, if all of the Reds are voting the same way and you are voting differently to how Will is, like they are fully trusting that Janine is voting for Will and that Aston is voting with them. So I'm interested to know what their intel was on what the Reds were doing because they were talking about we're going to rocks. And if they were sticking strong, like that's a bad move.
And we see Aston talk at the back end of the episode where he's like, I'm scooping up the numbers from the bottom. I'm watching the cracks. Like, I'm ready to play aggressively here. Like, if he senses that crack, he gets back. He's voted in the majority, but he's the outer of that three, of the four, because he's the only Red who voted with them. Sees that crack with Will, has Brie on side. Like, that's, you know what I mean? And then Janine becomes a swing vote.
Yeah, okay. I do actually. I think this is a strong move from Aston. I completely agree with you. I think he can go to Janine now and say, I saved you. Will wanted to vote you. I went to the side and said, I will vote Mars with you. He picks up Janine. He has voted with them, and someone like Natalie is going to really, hey, yep, you voted with me, so you know I'm willing to trust you and work with you. I don't see the only negative on this for Aston is that he's probably pissed off Brie, who now needs him though. She's in the minority, and he probably doesn't want to go too far with her anyway. I think being voted out and coming back in, Aston probably thinks his win equity is low, which I don't know that it is. I think if he gets there, he's got a good story. But it's easy to think that. So, yeah, I think this is actually a great move for Aston.
Yeah, it's a bold move as well. Look, he keeps telling us that he doesn't trust Mars. He has no reason for that, by the way, other than a weird vibe he's getting from the guy. Mars has been nothing but loyal to him the entire game. So, and I think Mars was still loyal to him at this point of the game. I'm not saying Mars was going to continue to be, but he certainly was. So I think Aston says it's going with his gut because he doesn't trust him. But I think Aston is playing an incredibly strategically sound game, and he has given up an ally who he doesn't fully trust, even though I think he probably should, but you don't trust who you don't trust. You got to follow your gut. And he's given up a shield. Now, but I think he recognizes that there are too many top tier win equity players in this game, and he could get to the end and sit next to Mars and Derek, and then he's probably not going to win. But he has a good enough story if he can get with the less win equity people. He just needs to really see Mars, Derek, Will, and Anthea go, and if he's in a final 4 with Natalie, Bree, and Janine, I think he's in a great spot to pretty much beat any of them, including Bree, who I do rate, but I think Aston would have the better story.
Yeah, 100%. If Aston will be hard to beat amongst most of them. Like, I think next to a Will or a Derek, he has a harder time. Maybe a little bit with Anthea, but anybody else, I think he beats hands down.
Yeah.
The fact that he's an attorney, the fact that he's come back, the fact he's lasted this long.
It's a Haley Leak battle back. He was removed on a bullshit twist. Like that no one was made aware of. Shock horror, Will Kinahan's immunity. Nobody was told this. There is no way he could have strategically planned around this. It's a Haley Leak situation. So no one's going to begrudge his pre-merge elimination.
No,
because he wasn't. Yeah.
And I think he has to know that if he thought that the Blues were this unbreakable unit, it would have been a bad move. But I don't think they are. I don't think that Will, Derek, and Anthea all want to go to the end together.
Well, we're seeing that start to fracture now. Like, we see Anthea talk about that she thought Will was her number one, like that they were number ones, but now she doesn't think that's the case. Yep. We see Derek go, oh, Janine's like my kind of girl. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing what that looks like outside of that. They're also the only person not doing that is Anthea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the boys are exploring their options and seeing what else is out there to see how they can get further. Anthea is the one who's like, even in this episode, is like, oh, maybe we just stick OG Blue.
Yeah.
The big issue, and we come back to it, is going to be Natalie. And because I just said, Aston started the train now trying to get rid of some of the bigger win equity players. And he had to start now because you're running out of votes. Like, I just told you the ones he's got to get out, and that still puts him in the final 4. So if he leaves Mars in for this vote, it's actually like you're having to get Mars out at 4, or so one of these people out at 4, right? Which is not, anyone can win immunity. Mars is great at challenges. Like, that's a risky proposition to do. So it's, I think, strategically very sound. But I think getting the numbers to do anything significant will rely on Natalie wanting to make that big move, like we talked about earlier. I think if she wants to stick Blue strong, it will now be very hard to unseat that core group of Blue. Natalie's really, really important here, and she needs to recognize that she needs to do something special.
Yeah, I agree. Do we all agree? Like, that's not what we do here.
I think to be fair, when we get to this point of the game, we all kind of start to see the end road similarly. Like, it's when the game is still so wide open that we all we disagree. Yeah. We get a little more agreeable as we get close to the end. I just want to talk about the episode title, because as soon as I saw the episode title, I knew the boot.
Why are you jumping ahead? You don't know that the episode title person gets boot. That's not a rule.
This episode title, I knew. 100%. This episode title, and then we open on Mars beast moding the shit out of himself. I knew before the episode was done that Mars was the boot. There was no way it was going any other way in the moment.
You jumped into the Brommy conversation.
No, I know, I agree. Can we circle back? Can we talk about the challenge?
Yeah.
Why did they change the rules? That's not how that challenge is meant to go.
I don't know what was going on. I was so confused.
So the way that challenge is meant to go, when you get to the thing, you can flip both of them. If theirs is up and yours is down, you can flip both of them. Why did they change the rules so you can only flip one? It made it a sprint.
Why was one flipped at the start?
I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brees is a near identical title when Ben went.
And I'll check the wiki. What was it called on Ben's book?
But yeah, I don't know why they changed. This is a great challenge. I love it, but I don't know why they changed it. What, you can only change one, then you have to move on. Why? You should be able to change both. Like because it like, literally just, and because of the 1-up thing, all you have to do is you run to the one where yours isn't up, you flip that, and then if you are faster, you will get to the other one first and you'll win like that. And that's what happened with a lot of these rounds. I don't know if they maybe wanted to make it shorter, but I don't think these rounds go that long anyway. So I don't know why they changed it. It took all the strategy out of it.
I'm not particularly in love with the challenges this season. Sorry, Malcolm. We love you, Malcolm.
Look, I love that they take challenges from Survivor and make them LRGs. And actually, of course you loved it, Derek. Do we need to talk about how Mars was saying at the start, "Oh, Derek, you and me, we're getting the challenge beast."
Yes.
And Derek's like, "Please, I'm not going to win any challenges. That's 2 now."
Yeah. It was like the prophecy. He just like said the prophecy. He bestowed that honor upon Derek. You're the challenge beast, and so far, so
By
true.
my count, is he the only person that's won multiple at this point? Mars only won 1, I believe.
Mushi won 1.
Mushi won 1. Will won 1.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Good pick, Mars.
The reference that Brie was making earlier for the new identical title is that Ben's boot was Alpha Dog, That's Me.
Yeah, oh yeah, again, I knew that was him straight away.
Even though Close Up Magician is probably my favorite episode title from the season. That was a better Ben.
I mean, that has a special place in my heart as well.
Close Up Magician was excellent. Your King Stays King. There was a lot of bromming around in these confessionals. As I stand by, and
Which is the Mars we know and love.
That's
It's the Mars we know and love.
Mars is in the green screen back room, so he's hearing this. I am still perplexed about his bronze medal for Uncharted Waters confessionals. Maybe they saw a release of this in advance, because the confessionals in this are absolutely podium-worthy confessionals. Like, these are the confessionals that I wanted him to give in Uncharted Waters, and I had to push him to do that God of War flex. He didn't want to do it. I had to really push him to do it. And now he's just giving that out for free here.
But it's a very different beast, and we'll get into it when we have him on here, playing from the top and playing from the bottom. It's a whole different beast, and suddenly you're competitive when you're on top, but you're like, I'm comfy, I'm not gonna like ruffle too many feathers. From the bottom, you're just like,
yeah, I feel like this tribal council, he was channeling me during Uncharted Waters. Like, he was popping off, let's go to Rocks, which I don't know if I'd be announcing that I'm going to go to Rocks at a tribal. They were already going to vote for him anyway. But even if they were like, oh, yeah, let's go with this 6, they're like, oh, fuck that. We're not doing that now. See you, Mars. So, yeah, look, you can try to be me as much as you want. Imitations is a serious form of flattery. But, that's my bit.
I love the ORCA behavior of us all. I'm claiming the credit for why he's good at confessionals this season. You're claiming all his game. It's a lot.
He was inspired by all of us. He took all of us into his game.
This is tribal council. That gives me popping off at the merge.
Before we bring him in, I think we're pretty close to bringing him in. Can we talk about some of the other players from the app that we haven't talked about as much?
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about Janine. She votes for Will. She's completely out of the numbers here. She's got a big... Will's a sensible target. I think...
I don't know about that. Like, what?
Well,
no, not that Will's a sensible target. I agree. I'm just, why did that happen?
Why did she vote that way?
Let's go to Rocks, and she doesn't vote for Anthea with them?
Maybe she doesn't want to go to Rocks. Maybe she's trying to throw a vote, so it just would end up being whoever they're voting. She's not loyal to the Reds.
She's not loyal to anybody at this point, though. Like, she's just floating
on the Mars vote.
And
she's playing a good game, but I feel like I'm really enjoying her journey, and I think she's really impressed with herself, and she should be really impressed with herself. But the things she's impressed with are like, I voted for Brie, I want it gone, and then she asked me who I voted for, and I lied to her. I just lied to her. She's proud of herself for doing this, for playing, for lying. I don't think Janine lies to people in the real world. I think she's feeling good. Okay, she still want to vote for Mars. I think she's feeling good about the way she's being deceptive, and she should be proud of herself. It's just not going to be enough at a final tribal council. I don't feel to get people across the line. But
Not with the people left in the game, especially. Not with the people
she's
who are
winning.
left.
In her mind, not winning the game. She's just winning on what she's achieving right now.
I mean, she's already well and truly surpassed her goal. So
yeah,
good for her.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to our Canberra drinks.
Yeah, I think we're going.
I can't see why anyone would vote her out in the next 2 votes. It's not a logical move for anyone.
We see Bree raise it here, but it doesn't get any traction. Bree's like, she's going to take one of our spots in the end, but most people are like, well, you're not going to be at the end, so I don't care.
That's the only.
I feel like, not to jump ahead, but I feel like we'll be talking to Bree next week.
That's the only argument, that she's taken up. What about? Have we talked about everyone else? Anyone else we need to talk to? We talked about Aston's quality game. We talked about Janine. We haven't talked too much about Bree. Is there much about Bree here? We love Bree. I feel like she's a bit lost.
She's lost a bit of power. She's lost her, she's losing her shields left, right, and center. And she hasn't done enough to bridge the gap between other players because she's hidden behind the boys for so long and relied on them being in front of her as a target. And now those numbers are dwindled and she hasn't done the work socially to ingratiate herself moving further.
And I think we haven't probably talked enough about Will and Derek. I think we talked a bit about Anthea. I think Will and Derek, we're not talking about them because they're continuing to do what we've been talking about them doing. Great position in the game. Socially, Derek's in an incredible position. Will's social game may or may not be impacted by Mars going obviously very close to Mars, but he's now less threatening that he doesn't have that side piece. They're both playing really fantastic strategic games. It's a little bit. This is a bit of not new era coded. There's other power players in this game, so it doesn't quite get there. But I sort of see them as a bit of a Ghost Island, Dom and Wendell. Like they're both excellent.
I can see that comparison.
They're both aligned, but they also know that they probably need to take the other one out at the right time. Now, I feel like the rest of this cast is better than the Ghost Island Muppets.
Yes.
But I do get that sort of relationship with the two of them.
Yeah, I'm more and more happy with my Derek winner pick as we go through.
I feel like Dom should have won Ghost Island, so I feel really good about Will.
I agree that Dom should have won Ghost Island.
I feel really good about Will. Will's the winner.
Derek.
I'd be happy with either.
Yeah, no, either than winning, we have a deserving winner.
How am I sitting in this draft now? Am I got a lot of people to still to go?
Okay. Well, hang on. I have an update for you on the draft. I did keep it updated on my notes app. Where are we going?
That is the job of the chronicler.
So, going into the final 7, CK, you do still have 3 people left. Danny and I each have 2. So the scores are a bit hard to calculate because Danny and I are 1 point apart. She is beating me by 1.
Oh, shock horror.
Standard. Just for those at home, Danny beat Jules by 1 point.
Yes, we all know. Danny beat me by 1 point in the fucking thing, and I had to tie with Greg.
But she also beat you by 1 place in Uncharted Waters. It's all just 1 extra.
Yes. And Mars beat both of us by 1, and he got 8th here. Big deal. CK, you are 10 points behind Danny, but you still have an extra person left. So even if you lose someone next week in a unanimous vote, you'll be ahead of us. So
I have Will.
Looking good for you to win your first draft.
I have Will. I have Aston, I have
you have Will,
Janine.
Aston, and Anthea. So I think you're looking pretty good. I think I have Derek and Bree left. So I have the winner, but I think I also have the next boot, personally. And then Danny has Natalie and Janine, who probably aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay.
So Danny, I think Danny has a good team left, but CK, you are winning at the moment. So
I got a bunch of legends on my team. That's what I've got. Okay, we're going to throw up the ORCA graphic blowhole 2. What's better than 1 blowhole, 2 blowholes? We've talked about him excessively already this evening. Obviously, we all have personal connections to this man. Nothing but love for the great game he came out playing. bit of house money on his second time, but no one knows him. You know a little bit about this, Dani, so we'll get you to ask some questions about the secret second time experience. I'm just finding the things. Without further ado, let's welcome the God of War himself, Mars. Welcome.
Hello, friends.
I have been waiting for you, friend. Waiting for you to come on and see us. This is fun. Like CK said, it's actually quite funny how our games have mirrored each other. First time
definitely.
out, being in Power Alliances, running the game. Our ends were slightly different, but starts of games are very similar.
Not willing to work with the minority, just saying.
Yeah. Well, and then second time out, kind of a little more relaxed, playing from the bottom, again, have a little bit more chaos and some more fun. What was going into playing the second time? What did you take away from Uncharted Waters going into this?
I think I'm also in like a similar boat to Maddie, as in like we didn't get to see the filmed version before.
Right, of course.
And I think the way that my brain works and the way that I play is that I'm sometimes I can get one-track minded, and being able to see an edited version of myself from Uncharted Waters definitely allowed me to see, oh, this is what everyone else is thinking. This is how everyone else is playing and how I'm being perceived, because I can't really see that when I'm in the game.
Yeah.
And so I think my game, I would have had a totally different game if I had watched my season first and then played Canberra.
Yeah.
But I think my main goal, I guess, coming into Canberra was I already was lucky enough to play one season in Melbourne Survivor. So I think for this one, it was just like, have some fun, give Dan as much content as possible. Only a fraction of my confessionals made it into the edit, but there's a lot more of Mars God of War stuff that CK you would have enjoyed. I think it was actually Sam Green. I think he was there on the day, and he was just saying like, yeah, like you're skirting around the idea, but you're basically saying something like "King stays king," right? And I'm like, yeah. And then I think that's how it came to come into.
He's good that way. He's like, I know what you're trying to say. Say it.
Yeah.
You say you would have played differently if you'd seen Uncharted Wars. Do you mean you would have played more boring, or what do you mean by that? What would you have done?
No, I just think that coming into Canberra, I was still like a very cocky Mars. I think my only experiences playing as Survivor LRGs was when I first discovered the whole community, which was a Melbourne trial. And in that one, I came second. And then I played Melbourne and I came fifth. So I was like, oh, this game's easy.
And in Melbourne, you were one working out that thing was the idol away from probably winning the game. Because you probably would have won a bunch of the challenges.
One beanbag away from winning the game, let's be real.
That beanbag brutally.
I look at the beach. I look at a sandbox and flashback still, man.
Just working with someone who's not in your alliance would have kept you safe too.
Well, he did that this time. He was switching it all up. Let's talk about the swap screw. How did you feel about that situation? New test, challenge yourself, or like, fuck, I'm swap screwed.
It was weird. It was like, I've never played from like being in a minority before, so it's definitely Dani, like you said, it's like a whole new beast playing from the bottom.
Yeah.
But also, I think what was the first challenge post swap. I think I had still like solid connections with my OG Reds in that core four that we had. That I think in that challenge, I was whispering to Aston like, throw the challenge, because you guys have the majority. And then they ended up losing. I just thought, oh, they threw the challenge. Apparently, I was really bad at it. But I was like, oh, okay, this is great. And
I don't think they even got to Aston.
Yeah, they didn't get that.
No, it never got to him. But yeah, it was really interesting because like I still wanted to obviously make those bonds with my new tribe, just so that I wouldn't be the first name coming up. I think that worked well for me, working with like the Melbourne boys.
The Melbourne boys.
Did you really distance yourself from? I'm not saying Adele and Mark weren't close allies of yours, so it wasn't that hard. But did you really distance yourself from them?
Adele was his number one, though.
What?
Yeah, it was such a weird
Trying
experience.
to get Adele saved.
Adele was the very first person to throw out my name in that first vote, and then I think we just bonded because she was such a solid, like, tribe red strong ally that I'm like, oh, this is a nice number to have in my pocket. So I think, yeah, I think I could have been more flexible in that, because I think we thought the Blues were a bit more fractured, and we thought that we could bring one over and have that someone flip and then we get majority. So yeah, I don't think I super isolated myself with Deli or Mark, but I think I was definitely more close with Adele. Like I said, she was my number one. But yeah, I think very happy that we made the Melbourne Boys Alliance, because I think that definitely saved me for that first
100%.
vote.
Yeah, I think you'd done the work socially to be kept, whereas like Adele clearly put them on the outs quickly, and Mark was just behind the scenes. So yeah, you did the work.
And then the mutiny.
Mm.
Any doubts? Any regrets? Like, did you think I shouldn't do this? I know it was just see you later, losers. I'm going over there.
So yeah, my thinking with the mutiny, it was that like, oh yeah, like I definitely have ins with the OG Blues, but it definitely is not strong enough for them to turn on their own Blues. My thinking though was that I waited until the very last minute to mutiny, because I knew that it was definitely Mark or I going up to mutiny, and I think if we both stepped up, that would have screwed both of our games, whoever went back.
Sure.
So I think I may have not stepped forward if Mark already did.
Oh, okay.
So, but I waited for him and he didn't move. So I was like, okay, I'll take my shot now. And I knew that I had solid allies in the other tribe, that we would have a majority over Maddie and Janine.
Was there any thoughts of the fact that Aston had gone? You were aware that Will had passed immunity to Mushy, so you understood what had happened there. But did you think that's a weird 2-2, and if I go back there and we lose, I can help Jordan or Bree, or is that too much detail to be thinking about in that short span of time?
Yeah, I don't think I was thinking that too far ahead. Also, like, because it was, I don't think I knew the dynamics perfectly. So like, definitely going in trying to help definitely could have put me in danger as well. My one thing that I think would have been really fun was to potentially throw that challenge and save Mark, and then vote Maddie or Janine out, because I think that probably would have worked.
Yeah.
Do you think you could have?
Oh, sorry.
Well, could you get Jordan to throw a challenge? I guess you were shooting. You could have just shot that.
Yeah,
Jordan.
Yeah, like
Jordan
I don't think
really
he would ever throw a challenge.
Yeah,
But
he
I
had
think
white
I
line
definitely could have made him throw a challenge.
He was scattergun a tribal. He didn't want to go again, regardless of what the outcome is.
You could have just shot them straight to Will, I guess, would have been your option. Yeah.
Yeah, but also like
that also would have like done really well with Derek and Will to be like, hey, look, I mutinied, but I made sure you guys didn't go to tribal. Like, I think that.
Yeah, I like this as a regret. I think it's a good regret.
That's a great regret.
Like it would have been so fun, and I think that's what I wanted to come into the game, playing as much fun stuff as possible. But I think in my head it was also like a balance of, if I get out too early, then I don't get as much Mars content, and I don't get to stay on for much longer.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want to get to the end and also have nothing to show for it. So
For sure.
at that point, it was like so late at night, and we were just like tired, and we just wanted the day to be over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let's just win this challenge. It would be nice to actually finally feel like a challenge beast again.
Yeah.
It is long and tiring for sure. Do you feel you were at an advantage though, because no one there had played a game for that length of time before? Like, even though the returnees obviously got booted before that point, do you feel that like you were mentally better prepared for the day than some of the others, perhaps?
Yeah, that's interesting, because in one of my confessionals that wasn't aired, but I do say that like when we get to merge, I'm the only person here who has made it to merge, and so no one else has made or played this end game before.
Yeah.
But I think that's like in terms of LRGs, like other people, like Bree has an online presence. Which
very different beast. So like by the, even by midway through that second day, I was exhausted. And so, you would have had it even worse. So I think not knowing just how draining it is, I think you probably did have an advantage.
Yeah, I also think that like Melbourne is a lot more physically taxing than Canberra though. Yeah. Like we didn't have to sleep under a shelter altogether in Canberra, which would have been fun actually. I think that's part of the whole experience.
There's all less food.
You were given so much food, rewards at every turn. In this episode, I'm like, are they having ice blocks? I was like, are they having ice blocks right now?
It was so hot out there though.
Yeah.
I think on that hot day, you kind of got to do that.
Yeah. The ice blocks are a bit of a standard giveaway on the hot days. I can sort of live with that. A bit of sugar, a bit of cool them down. I'm okay with that. But no other food.
I get OH&S.
I can't stand it when they're sitting there like having a strat chat and someone's eating a packet of chips. Like, and it wasn't even part of it like a reward. They just somehow got a packet of chips.
Yeah, I don't know how people did that. I was too stressed.
Confirmed she slept under the stars.
Yeah, but like it's not the same as like waking up and just watching Nat just feed the fire and just be like, yep, she doesn't feel like she's interacting with people.
Yeah.
But did you sleep in a tent or did you sleep under the stars?
I slept in a tent. They gave me a tent, so I was like, well, I'm not going to put myself at a disadvantage just for myself.
Sure. Everyone needs to be at the same
disadvantage coming in because you also understand how fast paced it is. So you know that you have to make those quick decisions. You're like, I don't have time to overthink. I've just got to fucking like shoot from the hip and we got to go. Like the first time you do it, it's kind of like a shell shock. You're like, what's happening?
What is that?
Sorry, that was me.
What is happening?
What was that?
You make that much of a noise.
Your dog's being annoying.
What I was saying was
a big part of it.
I actually found coming from Sydney, which is the 1 day game, so much quicker, going to Melbourne, I was like, I actually have a lot of time. Like this is like, because I went the other way, like I think I was so quick to be like at every point because I was like, well, I've played much faster than this. So for you, like one, what's expected, like kind of how the day is going to run, even with all the twists and turns. You have an idea of like, strat chat challenge tribal, strat chat challenge tribal, and then like I got to go quick. Like we don't have time to overthink. Let's just get this done. So it's a big advantage as a 2-time player.
Yeah, for sure. I think, but also like you said, Melbourne is a lot longer.
Yes.
And it feels longer than Canberra.
Yeah.
Canberra's feels a lot longer, especially if I'm playing from the bottom and I need to scramble more. I feel like I have even less time. So
you don't know anything about that.
No, I wouldn't know until now.
What did you prefer?
It's like I'm a sucker for challenges and I'm a sucker for the experience as well. So like I love Melbourne. It has a special place in my heart just because it's my first LRG and it was so physically draining as well as mentally and socially as well. No. But like Canberra as well, love everyone there. Like it's just really interesting. And also I felt like there was a lot more game players in Canberra.
100%. I was just about to say you had more players to play with.
The way that I play.
Yeah, you had more players to play with in Canberra than you had in Melbourne.
Did you think there was a chance anyone would know you as having played a game? Someone like Bree, who was from Melbourne and in the community, was probably the best chance. She might have known you from her online presence potentially. Did you have any fear? Or you're like, no, they're not going to know who I am, because you obviously cut all your hair off and now grown it back. So you were trying to like change your look.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, let's be a bit streamlined for this season. No, but yeah, I was like, I wonder if anyone heard, because people do talk, obviously. But then like no one said it, so I was like, well, they're either talking behind my back or they don't know it at all. So it doesn't really, I can't do anything about that. Turns out Bree did know, but she didn't say anything.
All right, interesting.
She was like, Mars is a threat, but like I don't know how much she knew, but I do know that she knew I was a bit of a threat, but it's better to have me onside than offside. 100%. Which actually worked in my favor, I guess.
Did you know the Canberra returnees? Had you watched the Canberra seasons?
I'd watched 1 and 2, but like
3 wasn't out. So you
3,
knew
I was
them all.
like, but in my head, I was like, oh, if they're returning, they probably are good game players and then like super strategic. And then we get to tribal, or we get to the tribe camp, and Maddie. And I'm like, what is her game? It's stressing me out.
And it's funny because, like, obviously, you've watched 3 since? Did you watch 3?
Yeah.
So, what, like, you would have been like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I was like,
these 2 games.
this is night and day.
Yeah, 100%. That's so funny.
I guess talking about those returnees, were you surprised that when you watched this back that Aston didn't trust you? Because I said earlier in the show, you didn't give him any reason not to trust you for the entire game.
Yeah, I think Aston and I actually had a little debrief the other day. And then what is he saying? He was saying that, like, I think he blamed me potentially for the merge vote because we could have gone numbers more easily on Will, I think.
And you wouldn't do Will.
But Aston can definitely correct me about that.
But you wouldn't do Will, right? That was the
no,
I refusing to vote for each other. Yeah.
He was definitely a solid number, and I think in my head also that, like, I was like, oh, everyone's making side deals. Like, it was just like Will and I were the most obvious, I think. But yeah, I was like, the way that I wanted to play was like just bring him into an alliance rather than having a side alliance. Yeah, and I think Aston read that the wrong way, and I think he thought I was going to split, and I would at some point, but I think it was too early in the game to be doing some crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, especially at merge when you mutinied only just before you've gotten back. You need to now prove good with them, being like, it wasn't you guys. I just wanted to, like, keep safe over here and guarantee my safety. Like, you at that point, you needed to be able to keep all those people good. So voting for Will there and him going just fucks you with Derek, fucks you with Anthea. Like, really it forces you with the Reds. It cuts off those ties immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
I had so much fun watching you play again.
It was good watching. It's always good seeing people say it a second time, right, Dani?
100%. Yeah.
When you play with them, you see them better.
I think when you played with them too, it's even better too. And then, like, I mean, and you would have heard Jules and I moaning the whole way, being like, "What the fuck, man!" Like, doing all our own what ifs about, like, what could have been if you played this type of way with us in Melbourne.
About making cross tribal alliances, I'm like, we were right there. Like, we had nobody except each other. We were just numbers begging to be picked up, and he was like.
And I think that's my biggest takeaway from Melbourne was that, like, the importance of cross-tribal alliances, 100%. Because I think Melbourne, I was very cushy, and it was a fairly easy ride to 5th place, I think. So I definitely tried to open up more avenues for this season, just in case stuff like this happened.
And we could see that, like, as people who've played with you, watching you play again, it was just like, he's not like learned some things, but he's taken from that experience and he's having a little more fun with it, which is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I think I will say though that, like, being a self-proclaimed challenge beast, from Melbourne Survivor, yes, but for Canberra challenges are totally different, man. And just Canberra challenges are not built for me. I won one, and that's the most physical one.
Except for planking.
Except for planking.
Plank's your thing.
That's my thing. I trained for that one.
You said? Because they did it in other seasons?
Yeah. So I saw that they did in other ones. I was like, oh, what's like the most LRG challenge that I can train for? So I just, like, did planking every day before.
Yeah, love that.
And so when they pull that out as, like, the challenge at the tribal, you're just like, fuck yes. I'm so good.
And it wasn't even like I was that concerned that my name was coming out. I think I really don't think I was that socially aware this season. But
just, when you've got that limited amount of time to scramble, you don't want the wrong name to get immunity.
But I think, I was just like, I wanted to win a challenge, just, like, to tick that off for this season. So I was like, oh yeah, this is my challenge.
Yep, I've done this in both seasons. I'm good.
Yeah. You can win immunities across the board, you know.
And then I was right about challenge beasts.
I know. Well done.
Derek,
Hold it. Great job.
That's why I let Derek win that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was your downfall. Thank you for coming on, Mars. That was an amazing interview. Great to see you on the show. Great entertainment. I think, had we started awarding ORCA awards by the time this came out, or is this pre us giving those awards out? Because I don't know, you seem like maybe you were playing for something. You're definitely going to be up there as an option.
Pre-ORCA.
I don't think we've given the award officially because it was Sydney that we gave it.
Yeah. Sydney. Yeah.
Sydney won.
Sydney hadn't aired by the time you played this.
Yeah,
aired. Well, I mean, if it was or if it wasn't, definitely wasn't on my mind. It was just like try to be a character, try to get some screen time.
Well, you got screen time, you got character, you got our love. You might get another Brommy in a moment. We'll talk about that shortly. But you're definitely going to be contender. So thank you for coming out on your second time and just orcering it up. Again, just like Danny's run. So I have to see if that results in an award for you or a near loss, like sad Jules. But thank you so much for everything. You killed it. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Hang around.
Now, I forgot to put this up because Bree wants it shown. Here's Bree sleeping under the stars.
I love it. Amazing.
It's the third time she sent it to me. She wants it on the record.
All right. It's on the record.
I am sure that nobody but Dani was present for the Sydney Survivor podcast last evening, where I debuted my newest AI video creation for the Brommy Nom. It got a huge reaction. Some people hated it. The audience loved it. Let's see what your reaction is, everyone, to determine who is this week's Brommy Nom. Brommy Nom, Brommy Nom, who gets the Brommy Nom? See? It's amazing.
Oh my god, you give me an after attack with that. I'm crying.
Nanny's not a fan, and neither were Mark and Lauren, but the crowd loved it.
It's terrible, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, that is a weird chord. I agree. I'm a musician myself. Maybe you are too, Will. Yeah, but that's what the AI went with. It's an interesting chord. It really is.
Was it worth destroying the environment for? I'm not sure, but oh my god. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, Bree's a fan. You see, I don't know what. There's so much negativity about it last night, and
No. I love it.
Thank you.
I don't think there's much discussion in this episode, if I'm honest, about a Brommy. Like
King.
The King's King. He's the god of war.
Oh yeah.
There's this shit. There's that. Was anyone else? I mean, Bree was a little bit ORCA. I'll give her that, but not to Mars level.
No,
definitely Mars.
This is all Mars.
This is Mars.
So I would love it if the Chronicle had it written down, because now I'm at 9 episodes. It's getting hard to remember. But do you have it written down?
Look, I'll write it all down as of next week. But
it went. Oh, it's gonna be bad TV because now I can't remember that. We gave it to
Cynthia. There's been Maddie. There's been Ben. There's been Bree. There's been Mars. Has already had one.
This is two from Mars.
Did we give Mushy one?
Yeah, it's Mushy. She's very ORCA on the way. I do love giving the ORCA to the boot. I think because there's nothing more.
And Maddie got one, of course, as well. So plenty of contenders this season. Okay, what do you think is going to happen next week?
Well, so Bree is very upset with me in the comments about me saying that she's going to be next, and I've got no hope for her. I do think that it will be Bree next. Because I think that Blue Alliance is probably going, unlike last week where I said the 6 is going to break, I think that Blue Alliance is going to stick strong. And for me, Aston just voted with them. They're not going to vote for him. They're not going to vote for Janine. I think Bree there's a very big target on her back. I think they're aware of what she can do. She's very good socially. She could talk a jury's ear off. She's going to have a lot of friends on the jury at the end. I think they'll see her as a threat. And I think she'll be gone next week.
All right, Danny, you tell me what happens if Bree wins immunity.
If Bree wins immunity, Aston's in trouble.
Okay. Well, you've heard it here. That's what may happen next week. It will be airing in 2 days' time. There are 3 episodes to go, I believe. So just 3 to close out the season. The next one, number 10, appearing Wednesday, then 2 to follow. Next week we will obviously have the boot with us, and maybe Mark. Mark was keen, right? Maybe Mark.
Mark was very keen. I just didn't want to do 3 interviews in 1 week. So yeah.
That's right. So double blowholes next week as well. Double blowholes, the Brommy Nom video will be back. Everything will be delightful. Thank you to everyone who joined us, our 2 wonderful blowhole guests, Mars and Maddie. Thank you for everyone who's live in the comments. We love your interactions. We love you if you're listening after the fact. We love you just a little bit less. And I always say that and do this thing, but I appreciate they're probably listening to it on a podcast, and I'm doing a smaller heart. That's what's going on. For those that are not seeing visuals, smaller heart because you weren't here. I like your small heart, Jules. That's good. So please try and join us and comment live. We love having you here. We love an audience. Thank you, Dani. Thank you, Jules. We will be back same time next week to cover the next episode. And until then, we shall dance. I almost got it. Almost got it. We watched the dancing last night. It was bad.
Yeah, we're going to make up for last night's non-dancing.
Thanks, everybody.